In this video, we're going to be going over the software for the LG Veterinary DR system. Typically with a veterinary application, the form factor of panel you're going to want to go with would be a 17 by 17 wired, which would just give you a full field. There wouldn't be any worry about rotating the panel to get the full field like we would with a 14 by 17 or something similar. It's going to be wired, which means it's always got power, and you don't have to worry about taking it out of the table. It's considered to be like a semi-permanent installation. No worries about batteries or damages or drops or liquids or anything getting on it, because it's going to be installed under your table, and that's where it'll sit for the life of it. So what we're going to do is show you the software that runs it. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go over to the LG software itself. Now, I just logged into this application. This is the first screen you see when you log in. And I'm going to kind of just do a quick demonstration for you so you can just see the process for making a new x-ray. We can look at other buttons in separate videos, but here's how you would start off. So provided you didn't have a modality work list sending patient information directly to this machine, you would just go down here and say create work list. You assign them a patient ID, the patient name, which would be the pet. We would say call it Flippy. Ethnic group, that's the USA, we would skip that one. And patient breed, let's just say it's a terrier. Responsible person would be Jim Jackson. We capture the sex of the patient, the birth date, so let's just say that the dog was born in 2011, March 17th. Study description, let's say abdomen. And then we can also put in here whether or not they're going to be using anesthesia or sedation with this. And we click next. So here we can come in here, and there's two different ways you can build your studies. One of them is called OCS view, and this would involve just programming in different very common exams that you do. So in here we've already got a cat abdomen where we would show a lateral and a DV, a dog abdomen where you're doing a lateral and a VD, and in equine where we're just showing a lat and a C-spine lat. What we can help you do is program in the more common exam protocols that you do, show you actually how you can do it yourself if you like, so you can build as many exams as you like and tailor them to be however you want them. The other option would just be to come in here and do a more traditional picking off the menus. So we would say canine, but you've also got the options for feline, equine, and exotics. And in these you've got the major body parts. So we can go thorax, spine, skull, pelvis, hind limb, forelimb, abdomen. Let's say abdomen, and we'll just say lateral, just so that we can show you how it goes. Now if I click save here, this patient goes to the work list, and then they're there for later on, and I can always choose them if I want. So if I knew that Flippy was coming in for a checkup and an x-ray on the abdomen later on today, and I wanted to get this part out of the way, I could schedule this and then later on choose Flippy off the list and take that x-ray. More commonly, you'll just click start. So as we click start, we get into the exam screen. So here we've got our exam order. It's a canine, it's an abdomen lat, it's been selected. A lot of this stuff over here is really just by default. We can turn on auto collimation if we like, so it can cone down and at least show you the cropping once the image is done. So at this point, we make x-ray. And this is obviously a simulation, so I'm invoking it with a mouse click. But in practical purpose, the panel has automatic exposure detection. It doesn't need to be interfaced with your generator at all. The retrofit is very quick and simple, and it uses your existing equipment, and you're going to get beautiful x-ray images like this. So as you can see, I had the auto collimation already on. It's not going to make the change until I agree that it's what I want. It's already got the purple pinkish crop around it. If I double click, it'll make the crop for me. So from here, now we've got our cropped image. We can magnify, pan, we can window and level. These things are all done on the mouse as well. So the middle roller button is going to zoom it in for me. The left click is going to let me pan it around. So I can pan around inside that image. And the right mouse click is going to give me my window and leveling. So as I move this around, and there's a little bit of lag time because of this is a remote session, but you can see that the image is changing in contrast right there. So those are the more common tools you'd use. We can do flipping and left to right, right to left. We can do a mirror flip, change the whole thing around, change it a vertical flip. We can do a 360 rotation. So if you needed to just change it by degrees, we could do that. And if you wanted to crop it further, click on the shutter tool. So you can shutter it down by 8 by 10, 10, 12, 12, 10, 11, 14, 17, 14 by 17, and then you can just do different shapes, polygons, ellipses, and squares. So if we wanted to create another region within this region, we make the box, and you just double click inside that, and it does the extra cropping for you. To release these tools, just click right back on the tool itself, and it'll close out. It will let you invert the image, and let's see, we can do text markers. So if I just click over here and I say T, I can do test, and I can move this anywhere I like. I can make it smaller, I can make it larger. We can do right markers, left markers. There's also some preset annotations in here, and we can add more. So we can always add to this list. You've got open slots here where you can put in the more commonly used annotations that you would use. So let's see, what else? We can also do a little bit of, I'll show you some image processing in a little bit, but we can also do kind of an on-the-fly image processing. So everything's processed in what we would call a normal algorithm. If we wanted to see this a little softer, we could click on this and it shows it a little softer, a softer algorithm. If we want to hit it a little harder, we can process it a little harder, and you'll see finer detail, a lot more edges, and it's just a higher, higher resolution look at it. Normal is where your default is, so you can just kind of do this on the fly without really having to get into the image processing and playing with the levels. But let me just reset the whole thing. So if I click reset, it'll ask me if I want to reset all my modifications. So it's going to get rid of everything and take me back to the original state that this image was in when it was taken. So it removes the collimation and everything. So if I just want to start up again, collimate it down, get rid of that, and I can take it to full screen, and I can look at it in a bigger screen, a bigger window. And if I want to play with image processing, I can do that by clicking down here, this little gear tab down there. So we can do brightness, contrast, detail contrast, sharpness, and denoise. So we can reprocess this image based on the changes we make here. So let's just say we're going to play around a little bit with the levels. And if I click process again, it's going to reprocess with those. So I mean, obviously that's not great, but it's just showing you the concept that you can do all that. Now if you want to reset them back to where they were, press reset, they all go back to the middle, and you're good. But this is how you would sort of tinker with image processing if certain looks aren't what you would hope they'd be. Maybe your tastes are a little bit different than the algorithms that are standard to the machine. So that's how you can play with it a little bit. But once you're done, you can just click send, and this will send your images to the archive. If you have a PAX already, we can point the images to be sent to the PAX you've already got. If we're supplying a PAX with the system, it's going to send it to that PAX. If you needed to make a Windows print, you could click on this button here, and it would print to your connected printer. If you needed to export a CD, click on here, provided you have a CD-ROM or a CD rewrite in your workstation. You'll be able to just send it right there and put in a CD or DVD. What you do is you just click on the image that you want, click export, and it'll come up with a dialog box for your CD drive. You can relabel your volume and say Flippy's abdomen, and then put in your disk, click burn, and it'll burn that image to the disk. If you wanted to export this image to a USB or some other destination so that you could either put it on a long-term storage or maybe clip it and send it to an email, we could just select it, click export, and it's going to go to the like your local directory. So we go to the desktop and we say, you can make a folder called exported images very simply. And we select this folder. As you see here, it says completed. So now that process is done. We're done with this image. We like what we've seen. We've put our markers on it and we're happy. And we just say send. This just confirms the packs that you're sending to. So you can have multiple packs in here, but the one that we've got set up, it's going to be sending to that one. And we click send. And in a second, you're going to see the confirmation. So the blue arrow means it's been sent to pack successfully. The green arrow means that image has been accepted by you. And you click end review. At that point, you're done. You move on to the next patient and carry on with your day.